Jimmy Butler and the Golden State Warriors are once again in connections, and this time it's because Golden State is hoping to pursue a blockbuster trade that would land Jimmy Butler in Golden State, leaving Miami short-handed for the remainder of the season, leaving us in a total rebuild. I'll break down all the moving parts on this episode of Heat Digest, so let's not waste any time and get right to it. So the blockbuster trade coming from Golden State. So Golden State and Jimmy Butler have been in connections before. We have seen it as recent as just opening months of this past NBA offseason, and now things continue with this brand new article titled Golden State Warriors are interested in adding Miami Heat superstar. This was published today, September 13th, early this morning. And again, it goes on to say the Golden State Warriors reportedly have an interest in adding the Miami Heat superstar to their ranks. Now, this is accurate from what we know from the coverage that we've seen throughout the entirety of this offseason. The Golden State Warriors and Jimmy Butler, in the ties they've had together, have been frequent. Obviously, Jimmy Butler has been very vocal about the contract extension he's wanted from the Miami Heat and Pat Riley, and that has not happened yet. And Pat Riley has had some comments about Jimmy Butler that didn't sit well with some Jimmy Butler's fans. So again, we're going to move on and break down the rest of this article that we have, but it's a very, very interesting idea, to say the least. It goes on to say the trio of Curry, Green, and Thompson might no longer be together in the Bay Area, but that does not mean that the Golden State Warriors won't be looking to compete for a championship in the near future. Could a Miami Heat superstar be the answer to their problem? They have a limited window to make the most of Curry's remaining prime. At this point, they do not have the team to compete for a ring, though. So nothing really inaccurate here. The Golden State Warriors roster, as currently constructed, is not a bad roster by any means. They still obviously have Steph Curry, who's going to be one of the best players in the world when healthy, if he is healthy, and that goes without saying. He's otherworldly. He's a generational talent. But for everyone else, are they going to be good championship pieces? Players like Buddy Hield, players like Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Looney, Kyle Anderson, DeAnthony Milton, Andrew Wiggins. We know Draymond Green he has done it. He has the experience. He's a very experienced player, and he's going to be a good piece on any championship team you put him on. And again, he's playing his brand of basketball specifically, and it's going to work because he's going to pass, he's going to rebound, he's going to play defense, and again, he might score here or there, but again, it's more of the character, it's more of the role he plays on whatever team he is playing for, that ride or die mentality. But once again, they do need another piece, without a doubt. If you were in the Golden State Warriors, fans, media people, just a player, a member of the organization in any way, you are fully aware that this team, as the way the entirety of the NBA is now built, as so many teams have so much talent, they need another piece, another bona fide superstar. Now, I'm not saying Jimmy Butler should be that guy. I really and truly hope he is not that guy for Golden State. I hope he stays in Miami. But we'll continue through this article and break down the rest of the nitty-gritty when it comes down to the actual trade packages we may be looking at if this actually happens. So it goes on to say, in that scenario, could the Bay Area be the next destination? According to HoopsWire, Sam Amick said on the TK show, and I quote, Jimmy Butler's going to be a free agent next summer. Didn't get an extension done. The Warriors have interest there and probably have made a couple calls to Miami this summer, end of quote. Someone like Butler could be a solid addition to the Warriors. He has already proven himself in the postseason time and again. Now, very accurate. Jimmy Butler has proven himself time and again in the playoffs and throughout the regular season. When he's healthy, he's still a guy. There's no way around it. He just has to be healthy. He has to not be coasting through the regular season to the point where he's not really making an effort or really making a difference on the team he's playing for. But again, I will say Sam Amick did miss out on a big crucial part of this quote when he said Jimmy Butler's going to be a free agent next summer. Again, we don't know if Jimmy wants to opt back in or if he really is going to really play the leverage that he assumes he may have in that situation and say, I'm going to test free agency. If you guys don't give me that contract extension, I'm not going to accept the player option for $52 million that for this final year. I'm going to go to the free agency. I'm going to test it. I'm going to see what I'm going to get paid by other teams unless you guys offer me this extension. And again, Jimmy Butler may very well do that, and he's more than capable, and he's allowed to do that. He's earned that privilege in the league. He's that damn good of a basketball player, and we all know what we're getting from him. But once again, he has that ability to opt into that player option, avoid contract deals and extensions and just the overall stress and talks behind it for one more year. It's not like he won't be getting paid. He'll be getting $52 million. That is more than he's getting throughout the entirety of that contract. If we're breaking it down by year, I believe it was somewhere around 46.5 and then 49.5, and now that final year would be around 52.5. Again, the highest lump sum that you'd get over a year's course from this contract. So again, it's not out of the question. It's just something that it's not crazy to believe that Jimmy Butler is going to use the leverage that he's going to have in this situation when talking and discussing and negotiating with the Miami Heat organization. So again, I don't think it's a long shot, but in a way, I still do. But again, let's get to it and break down what these depth charts really look like and how the roster changes would actually look from the Golden State Warriors and this Miami Heat team. So we'll start with the Heat because it's going to be a little quicker in the sense that we know what we're looking at for the most part. So we'll start with this look at things because we can also see the contracts as well. So Jimmy Butler at the top of the list. He's getting 48 and some change this year. He's the top guy for the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo is not going anywhere. He just signed the contract extension. And again, he's our franchise cornerstone because he's the youngest piece. He's younger than Jimmy Butler. He's going to be here for years to come, and he's still so damn good while still only being 27. Obviously, Hero, Rozier, Robinson, Highsmith, Kelowna Ware, Kevin Love, Jaquez, Richardson, Jovic, Burks, Bryant, Poland, Johnson, Christopher Smith, and Isaiah Stevens. This roster is good. There's no doubt about it. But again, there's a lot of young pieces. And again, Jimmy Butler, Hero, Rozier, these guys have big questions when it comes down to their health. We haven't seen Kelowna Ware play an NBA game yet. And again, we haven't seen him deal with the physicality. He's a very small-framed individual. Yes, he may be very long and lengthy. But again, he's not the heaviest guy in the world. He's not the bulkiest human being in the world either, I will say. But again, I have high optimism. I think he has great potential. I don't think he will be traded, obviously, by this Miami Heat team. Same thing with Jaquez. I don't believe Jovic will be moved as well unless the package coming back is absolutely ridiculous for the Miami Heat. But again, if this trade was centered around Jimmy Butler, let's look at the Golden State Warriors and what they could possibly be sending back to us. And obviously, we're not going to plug it into the trade generator in the midst of this video, so I can't tell you if the actual finances work. But again, just based off of player personnel, what we would be getting back overall value for someone in Jimmy Butler who's going to push the needle for the Golden State Warriors and allow them to compete at the top of the Western Conference. We have players like Andrew Wiggins, DeAnthony Milton, Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, Kevin Looney, Jonathan Kuminga, and then obviously BP, Brandon Prodzinski. I apologize if I'm saying that right, or incorrectly, I should say. Kuminga and BP both have so much potential and so much value. I have their stats pulled up here. They're both extremely young. Now, this is Jonathan Kuminga's stats. His first 2 years at age 19 and 20, he only averaged 9 points a game, but he went from 9.3 to 9.9, and then last year, his age 21 season, again, his third year in the league, he jumped up to 16 points, 4.5 rebounds, just under 5 rebounds per game, and 2.2 assists. This kid is a lengthy wing who can score the basketball and really do everything on the basketball court. Obviously, years of experience are going to help and allow him to develop more frequently and really more effectively. But again, there's a lot of upside to this young man, and this is one of those pieces I would have to see for Golden State to send back for a Jimmy Butler trade if we were talking about a possible scenario. Then we move on to BP. He just finished his rookie season with the Golden State Warriors, and he's pretty goddamn good. He finished 5th in the Rookie of the Year voting. Obviously, he wasn't going to win it due to the talent at the top of that rookie race, but again, pretty good player. He averaged 9 points, 4.5 rebounds, just under 6 rebounds at 5.8, and just under 4 assists at 3.7. These guys are very, very good basketball players, and I believe we would have to see, if not one, both of these guys in a trade package in return for someone like Jimmy Butler if the Golden State Warriors really wanted to see this get done and really bring in someone like Butler to their squad. Obviously, for the Miami Heat, if this does happen, we will be behind the 8 ball without a doubt. Do the keys go to Tyler Hero as the #1 scoring threat? Do the keys go to Bam Adebayo in a mix of him and Kelowna Ware and Terry Rozier? What would the Miami Heat do? That is why I hate this idea of a possible blockbuster trade. If anything, we would need to see a 3-team deal that involves a lot of moving pieces, not only for the Miami Heat, but for the Warriors and that third team, possibly Atlanta, Brooklyn, whoever it may be, looking to acquire a lot of talent as well as dealing some themselves. But again, that will be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this possible trade scenario, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.